Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Listening to a little rave party radio to get started there. Some spiritual jamming. I hope you like that one. That was actually a pretty sweet little melody there. On the screen and front and center, Shitcoin Sherpa and Mr. Dr. Holds. Thank you very much for joining us as always, and all of you people out there in internet land, wherever you are. I hope you have a great day or a great evening. Again, thank you for joining us very much for another edition of STAXX.CLUB Live. We're going to go around the horn. We've got a lot of stuff to cover as always, and we try to keep these to a reasonable time slot as well. Just want to go around here and say hi to you guys before we jump in. Doc, hello. Good day to you, sir. How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Good to be here tonight. I hope everyone's having a good evening, day, morning. I know we got people all over the world watching us. So glad to have you guys tonight. Got a couple of great topics for to go over tonight. Glad to have Sherp with us. Always a pleasure.
Kick it right over to Sherp. Sherp, how the hell are you, man? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, man. It's great to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show and just talk to you in general. So I'm glad you're doing well. Man, always like to get your perspective on stuff too. We're gonna keep this one light tonight. We've got a wheel spin to do for a rabbit hole. It's our weekly thing. We'll talk about that. Obviously our rabbit hole partners. There's a Waxapalooza going on. I'm gonna look at a couple of Bitcoin charts. I wanted to talk about some NFT games and maybe just kind of like in general level set tonight too. And then, man, we were looking at that Grand Theft Auto Meta City, which is kind of like the new, I don't know if you want to call it like theme or flavor. Let me kick this talk show in here and kill this music here for a second. But kind of like the thing that's going on right now, if you want to just call it whatever, is using games as like operating systems, like Minecraft. We were talking about Uplift, and then integrating cryptocurrency into them, and that's kind of like what we were seeing and talking about with a Grand Theft Auto release called Meta City, which could be just absolutely dope. Super excited about that. We'll go take a look at that, because that's kind of like a whole new thinking, and that was actually on Engine as well. So you guys, that's one of our favorite not only blockchains but just teams in general. That's a very classy organization that's been around a long time. So without further ado, before we jump in, and maybe we'll just look at the charts and get that stuff out of the way first, look at some markets. Again, thank you for the follows. Guys, we want this to be interactive, so ask questions, right? If you don't want to use the chat, hit us up on Telegram, hit us up on Twitter. Please hit those buttons. That's what they're there for. The likes, the retweets, the subscribes, right? That's how we get this message out there. That's how we get this broadcast out on the internet, right? So we can get in front of people, get more participation, get these things snowballing. That's how it works. So appreciate all the love and support. Again, we're going to be here every Tuesday night doing these things. So anything that we can cover that is relevant to our community is probably going to be relevant to someone else. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. Let me share my screen here with you guys so we can jump right in. And any comments or questions, or guys want to piggyback off on any of that stuff here? We're looking at Mr. Bitcoin to get started.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we're staying right with exactly what we were talking about. If we talked about last week and the week before, regaining 42K as support. Once we cracked above it, we hit 46K the other day, and then bounced back and popped right back up off of 42.5. So in my opinion, for now, I think we're still going to range out above that 42K range as far as I'm concerned. And then, yeah, I'm looking at that 50K range as the next real resistance as well.
We left these levels up, so these are just some nice levels to mark. Whether or not this is the true range is irrelevant to argue at this point. all viewers care, people care about from a non-technical standpoint. Is it going up? Is it going up or is it going down? Or, what do we need to do from a positioning standpoint? I went ahead and left this hash ribbons indicator on the bottom because I think it's cool. And let me just hide the stream chat here just for a minute. You can just kind of see that on the screen. Go out there and click on that. If you're using TradingView, and grab hash ribbons. I think we actually shared this on Twitter as well. But it's a unique indicator, and some people were asking about it, and it's one of the only ones that I've actually seen that includes hashing power into like some sort of actual charting mechanism and indicator. And maybe, again, you guys can comment on that. But
this was all new to me when
yeah,
you first brought it up.
So again, Sherp, you can feel free to comment or ask questions because again, I'm no expert in this by any means, and we can go look some of this up. But I mean, basically, what this focuses on is like hash rate and miner capitulation, or what it perceives, based on the parameters. And it actually just flipped over to a buy for the first time since, the start of this run from 18K. Very interesting.
This is the first time that I've seen this indicator, but I've been asking a few different analytics platforms for something like this for altcoins for a while, but it's really nice to visualize because, the miners are, to me, a better indicator of where things are going and the strength of the network than, all this stuff, which is kind of
Absolutely, especially when you have so much noise to sift through.
Exactly.
If you're looking for that kind of indication from media, it's so hard to sift through it. This is actual data. This is on-chain data that can be verified too.
I think this is cool. And again, people had questions about it because they had never seen it, and they're like, "What is that?" You're showing there. This is again something that we'll have to go look him up on Twitter. I'm pretty sure his name's Charles, but I think that's the name of his organization. But again, this is free. You can go throw this in a template and use it. And he just puts it out there, which is super cool. Part of an organization and also finance company. But it basically just is what it says. During miner capitulation yields wonderful returns. Best buy signals occur when hash rate recovery and when price momentum is also positive. I think what people still don't get about Bitcoin in general is how much the miners actually affect price. And let me explain by what I mean by that. So a lot of the whales, quote unquote, and people that are moving large amount of Bitcoin around are the miners, right? The people that were involved in Bitcoin very early on that were mining it, and not only mining it, but collecting it and accumulating it, became whales over time, right? So when they want to move the market, or they're selling or buying, or in this case, the hash rate was affected, right? The difficulty level went down. It was more profitable to mine for a period of time, right? That that creates less selling pressure, etc., right? So all of these moving forces and conflicting forces, a lot of which are still just like internally, in the mining economy in Bitcoin, I really don't have a whole lot of outside factors, leverage trading. As a matter of fact, I don't know like what percentage of wallets are to wallet, but these guys moving huge quantities of this stuff around or covering costs with it, they're not using leverage, right? So they're also selling stuff or buying stuff over the counter, like to different markets and quantities, and selling to exchanges and stuff. So it's a little different. But I just kind of wanted to put that out there, right? Because like this is a little bit different from your typical TA, your typical like charting kind of theory.
See, the thing about whales, the whales don't need to use leverage because they use their position size as their leverage. When you're dealing with that much coin, there's no reason to enter into any type of leverage trade. And I learned that personally by, trying to decide my risk factor and my comfort level with risk when I was beginning trading. And I did it multiple ways, using $5 entries at 50x, using $10 entries at 10x, and figuring out the different ways to play the market and how it can move within those parameters. But yeah, when you're playing with, you figure you're playing with 50 Bitcoin. If it goes up 2%, if the price of Bitcoin increases 2%, I mean, you're talking, what is that? Half a Bitcoin you're going to earn right off rip.
There's a lot of different ways to volume trade, to
Yeah.
move stacks around, to kind of push your price points around, or to push the price to your orders. We don't need to get too technical into that. But again, I just wanted to kind of explain what the hash ribbons was, because
Well,
that got some interest.
What
I
were you
was
gonna say,
just
sir? Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you were talking about it's not really like traditional TA, because honestly, it's more like fundamental analysis whenever you get right down to it.
Yes.
You're talking about the fundamental strength of the network, but
Yep.
then you're also thinking about, more
Let's pull that back up.
esoteric concepts, like the fact that, if a miner is way above their break even, then they're more likely to hold on to it for a longer period of time, because they're just selling what they need to keep going. And
Yep.
most times it's kind of like,
And we
the
definitely
thing.
went through an event, Sherp, right? People had to move
Oh
out of
yeah.
China. They were forced, or, to move around the world. So, like, that's what this is, right? So it
Yeah.
was logical that mining difficulty went down, right? And that's something like people on the outside don't understand. They don't understand any of this, right? Like, so if we can kind of slow some of this down and maybe just kind of explain like what that means, like, when you're mining, when you're running one mining rig, right? You're running it 24 hours a day on the network, right? You're trying to use that hashing power of that rig to get coins back out of the network, to solve these algorithms, these math problems, basically, and get your share, right? That's, as layman as I can kind of put it, right? So, that's what you're talking about here, just on a larger scale, like times millions and millions and millions of miners, right? When they all have to do certain things, or there's certain economic events, right? It affects the price, right?
Well, you can look at that and you can see, an awful lot too. Like you were talking about with the China issues with mining and everything. It's logical that the mining rate goes down, but I think also if you looked at a centralization versus decentralization chart on Bitcoin,
Yep.
I would say that decentralization has probably increased because you had a lot of mining going on in China by, really big firms and everything.
Wasn't it over
And that's
30%?
yeah, and so now that I would say it's probably dispersing a little bit, it's probably decentralizing a bit, since you're having it move away from China so much.
Which could be a good
Well,
thing, if you're talking about the health of the network,
Exactly.
right?
and
I mean, I think it's great.
you're seeing countries like I want to say it's Iceland, who have moved into full green mining production.
Which have a
And
lot of
Right.
advantages too.
yeah,
But it's not just them, right?
no, it's not. It's
Texas
not.
has cheap power, and they don't care about the heat. Like, they're just like, we're gonna use cheap power to cool this thing, and let's do the damn thing. So they're
North
building
Georgia,
gigafactories too. So
my cousin used to do network installs, and he was doing a hookup on a big mining facility in North Georgia. So, I mean, it's coming to the United
I
States.
think
It's
big
just if we don't
industry,
chase it off.
big industry is like maneuvering to kind of, you know, like the power companies are kind of maneuvering to move away from some of the oil, and, kind of sink their hooks into some of this stuff. You can
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
see it
yeah, and
happening behind the scenes.
that's one of the things, I'd talked about in an article I'd written for y'all about, the fact that crypto really does push everything more towards renewables.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just by the very nature of, the market, just the fact that you have a profit motive attached to that now.
Yep.
So, that's what we're seeing. And as this moves into the United States, especially, and we're getting these mining facilities pop up, if the government doesn't chase them off, it's really
Let me
going to help
let me
with
interject there real quick. You said now that we have a profit motive attached to it. I think the difference, I think we've always had that profit motive, but I think the difference now is the profit motive is more distributable. You've got more people who can be a part of that profit and advance it that much faster because you've got that much more involvement.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Go ahead, continue.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, whenever you get people involved in the process, you get small home hobbyist miners involved in the process.
Yep.
Those people especially have to watch, every penny on it in order to turn a profit. And so I know a lot of hobbyist miners, a lot of them use solar.
Yep. Yep.
And then these bigger, firms and everything, they're going into renewables. They're moving into North Georgia because they have TVA right up the road providing hydro.
Yep.
So you've got really cheap energy here.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to be continuing to see. The whole crypto and proof of work mining is bad for the environment narrative. I really take offense to, and I find it damaging to, any kind of green movement, because crypto is helping that movement. Crypto is helping renewables. So you're actually doing more harm than good whenever you're fighting that.
Well, here's the thing too.
We like to get you fired up about that kind of stuff. Sure.
Well, that's one
you
way
want to
to
get
do
Sherpa
it
fired
every
up.
time.
Just start saying that Bitcoin is bad for the environment.
Well,
Yeah.
you look at the
every
history of
time.
you look at the history of human nature though too, and you have to consider that when we're pressed and we're forced to figure something out, we usually find a way. And what crypto is doing right now is it's offering us insight into corrupt monetary system. It's offering us insight into how to properly manage our energy.
Look
Because
at you go, Mr. Insightful.
well, I mean, you got to think about it different ways.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you at all. You're
People-
No, I love it.
you're
Go
spot
off.
on. Yeah, keep
Yeah.
going.
The people that are challenging it aren't open-minded enough to look for the solution. Just like crypto was created to solve a problem with being able to trust, other parties, it's also offered us the opportunity, like I said, to solve another problem where we realize as humans we're consuming more energy daily. We know already that electrical cars have an advantage. I use battery powered tools at work instead of using pneumatic stuff. I mean, there's just a lot of different shifts that we can take to make it possible. And once again, I think solar is a big solution for all of this. And like you were saying, Sherp, with the hydropower, with, you've got a bunch of natural energy producing natural occurrences in nature. So I just think harnessing the energy is where we need to be focused rather than challenging the production of the product.
Well, I think
you're
you hit
right.
the nail on the head about the shift and everything. And that's kind of the beauty of crypto to me. It's not just about distributed ledger, it's not just about
Right.
decentralization. You also have this whole idea of crypto economic theory where you're incentivizing good action and
Yep.
disincentivizing bad action. So,
Yep.
really, finally you're harnessing the full potential of like free market capitalism in order to show the good that can actually do whenever you're not skewing the market and
Yeah.
all the wonderful things that government likes to do with shit.
Yep.
So
Well, just like Biff spoke last week about how, and especially looking at these charts that we bring up week in and week out, I would love to see a chart that is matched with news that drops, just so we can see like an Elon tweet at a top of a peak and, whatever.
I don't trust anybody anymore. Don't trust anybody.
I don't trust any of them either, but that's my
And
point.
if you want me to put a foil hat on and start taking some pictures, I don't care.
Dude,
right?
if there's one motto that crypto should teach you immediately, it's that there's no more gods or gatekeepers. And I don't give a crap about Elon. I don't give a crap about Jack Dorsey or any of these
Right.
figureheads. They're just guys. And
They're just people.
decentralization is about leveling the playing
Yes.
field
Yep.
and making them just guys.
Preach, right? Preach, because now you need to take that out a step further, right? And take it to every industry on the planet. And everyone needs to understand that there are no superhumans working at these big corporations. They're just people writing code like everybody else. Right?
Yeah.
They're literally just like you and I and everybody else. And right now, there's a few people, a handful of people, really fucking it up for a lot of people. Right? And we've been talking about that. It's been the topic of, like, you know, news and like what we've been talking about for many months now. Right? So hopefully, right, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Right? Hopefully, at the end of this shit show that everybody's, you know, taking a bite of right now. Right? We'll start to get some clarity. We'll start to invest in people and, you know, projects and stuff that's real, like kind of what we talked about, and games, right? Because if you're going to start driving change in these big corporations, these big multi-trillion-dollar entities, the only way you do that is hit them in the pocketbook, right? Because you're not going after one person. You know, they're faceless, nameless, odorless. We talk about that too, but that's what special interests are, right? That's how these people hide, and that's how they operate, right? That's how they use money to influence people and make decisions, use politicians, you know, sway governments, right? But the governments of the future need to be autonomous, digital, transparent, efficient, right? Pretty much the opposite of what big government is today, right? I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it, right? And then you take that back to the Bitcoin chart, right? Like, go full circle. Like, that's what's at stake here. You know, like, that's like the bigger picture, the way I look at it. Like, you know, this Bitcoin chart represents more than just, you know, some trading, some short-term stuff, right? This represents an alternative to the United States dollar, right? That's never been there in the history of the United States dollar. And this is only 13 years old, right? But it's actually, for the first time ever, it's competition to the product of the United States dollar that is owned by the Federal Reserve, which is a private company. And I think a lot of people don't understand how the basics of banking even work, right?
Well, I have no clue. Everyone thinks that the Fed is the government.
Not government, you know, owned in any way, shape, or form. It's a private company, has private stakeholders and shareholders. Now, they happen to be tied to a lot of government officials and politicians, right? For obvious reasons.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. They're in cahoots.
You know? But people need to understand, like, this is your money, right? This is what, like, the entire world is driven on. Like, you know, there's nothing faux pas about talking about it, right? It's money, you know. That's what we're gonna continue to do here in this club. That's for damn sure.
And it's a different kind of money, because if you really think about it, every national currency that's ever existed really has been mostly backed by the threat of force. Bitcoin is backed by the, you know, speculation and the belief of holders. It's backed by the actual power of miners. It's backed by actual, you know, hard concepts and real people versus, you know, just threats of state violence, which is kind of the
guns
thing
and threats.
backing.
That's what the United States dollar is backed by, right? Guns and threats.
Another thing a lot of people don't understand is, and we say it a lot, is it's verifiable money. It's you know, the immutable nature of it. There are no hidden Bitcoins anywhere. You're not gonna go over to someone's house and lift up the seat cushion and accidentally find a Bitcoin under there. You know, everything is verifiable on chain. Now, there are some that have been lost that are unretrievable, but you know, even at that, it's just one of those things where you look at the US dollar and the trust that it's built on, that it, you know, everyone worldwide trusts that our US dollar is worth $1. And that is the only reason it still, you know, holds where it is because of the trade around the world. You know, go ahead.
I wanted to expound on that, because I was just talking with somebody the other day, and you think about dollars, they've all got serial numbers on them, right?
Yep.
Well, you've got the same thing in blockchain, except with dollars, you can't say right now where serial number,
Exactly.
random variable is.
Yep.
With blockchain, you know where that is,
Yep.
down to the Satoshi. You know where every Satoshi is and where it originated.
Yep.
So, it's better money. It's more transparent money, just on its face.
Yep.
Now, again,
But
we can make arguments that it's already been swooped up by fiat and blah blah this and blah blah that, but that's for a different show, right? We're just talking
Right.
about, layman's terms, 50,000 foot. Oh, before we get off these charts, we didn't make a big deal out of these Fibo levels, but I just want to point this out again. This mofo basically bounced off the 618 level I mean, I don't know that it gets, I mean, it's pretty damn close. We'll just put it that way.
Right.
Right. So once again, this Fibonacci level held perfectly in bounce. Now, whether or not, what happens after this, we'll stay tuned. But definitely looks like we're testing some resistance at 45,000 right now for sure. And this thing looks like it's got some legs on the weekly. So
Oh yeah. Monthly looks good too now.
yeah, well, I didn't actually look at that. We can pull that chart up. Is there anything you guys want to look at too before we move on coin
No,
wise?
I think
Orion
honestly,
protocol, I'm
as
in
far as
that.
markets go,
That was
yeah, I
still
think
good.
Bitcoin's gonna tell us what to do.
yeah, and I mean, I've been fairly bearish this whole time. I'm
Some
leaning
of us
that
are still in a
way.
little bit of disbelief, that's okay. Some of us still have a little shell shock too. God,
I
look
mean,
at
I
that.
think maybe it's wishful thinking. I like longer bear markets because they tend to
Yeah.
shake out the crappy projects in the
Yep.
Yeah,
alt space.
I think people saw this and they're like, "Oh, bear market," and then like, not so fast. I mean, I know
Yeah,
it's ugly, but we don't know anything about this market right
I
here.
mean
We know about this market back here, but we don't know what this is yet,
it
right?
could
So
healthily pull back off of that 50K mark again and travel back into the mid 30s and still be healthy.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying, not so fast, Like, I mean, I know it's
yeah.
definitely topped out, right? But all the momentum is up high right now if you're looking at, a monthly like this. So that still means it could, expand further for sure. And you know how Bitcoin likes to do it. So,
well, and look at the stochastic right now. It's right at the median.
right. So there's nothing saying that this doesn't go do some more of this and we
No,
go right? I mean, there's not a lot of resistance up here because it just fell off the face of the earth very quickly.
right.
So if you break 50K here, we're off to the races again. And again, I'm not trying to be a moon boy, but that is a scenario that could happen. So
Well,
prepare
and the
accordingly.
thing is you got to think too what we know about market cycles. A lot of that big pump was retail entering this time. Well,
There's nothing. I mean, if this is about $1 trillion, there's nothing stopping another trillion from being added to this market right now,
right,
right?
exactly.
So there you have it, right?
Well, and the buyers that took it up that high, they're not going to be the ones that are going to sell when it gets back right back to that level.
Again, I don't even know, is it Elon Musk and like Michael Saylor? Are these guys real? Are they fake internet people? Is it AI? Are we all part of some simulation? I don't know anymore. All I know is like what this is a good looking chart. The weekly looks killer, right? Like if I was like trying to be aggressive, this is kind of like green light situation for me, short term, short medium term. Again, I'm not doing too much short term trading. I'm just trying to like
Give me a
grab
second.
stuff, and we've been grabbing those curio cards. I've been pounding NFTs, trying to grab this digital land. Keep in touch with all these games. Been playing Uplift, Minecraft. That might be a
Yeah,
good segue.
I aped into curio cards yesterday after looking at them. I've just heard you guys talking about them so much, and
We
it's
got
like,
kind of lucky on that, started doing some research before everybody else did, especially the mayor. And we were looking at that in the show, and I was like, damn, he's right. And sure enough, he was. And I only bought a couple, but, they were like 0.1 ETH, and I think the total is like over one now, like one Ethereum.
Oh
I
wow.
can't make it's like a week, man. Like what the hell, dude?
He called that
Whatever,
literally like
man.
4 days
He
before.
went ape into. We're not going to disclose how much money the mayor made,
Right,
but he might be the mayor of curio cards now as
right.
well. He might have a new title, or the mayor of
Oh, I
New
mean,
York. Shit, the freaking
they go
quo is
up a little
out.
bit more. He's gonna have to change it to governor.
Yeah,
I mean,
governor. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Congratulations to him
Shit.
as well. Let's get off these charts. We don't want to look at anybody's any more charts unless you guys do Cook It to the Talk Show. I didn't see
No,
anything else in
I'm
there.
good.
no, I did have a question. After talking about mining so much, I was just wondering if you guys had any opinions on the recent Ethereum upgrade and the little tax on the mining.
Yeah, we didn't talk about F much. This we need the mayor on because we get him all fired up about mining and Ethereum too. Um, I don't really have like an opinion one way or the other because I'm all about like consensus and what the community wants and whether or not it works and it's practical. Ethereum still has a lot of challenges when it comes to, doing transactions and microtransactions, especially minting anything on layer one is kind of a disaster right now. So did the new fork like help all of that stuff? No, but it does seem to be working, and the burn mechanism is working, and that sort of thing. Now, what's interesting to me though is like, where's the drawing line between that and like the miners still mining Ethereum right now and like on that fork? I don't really understand like the technicals of how this plays out. So, maybe you have a comment on there, Sherp, like, but that's kind of like my viewpoint right now from 50,000 feet.
Yeah, it's I that's something that I've really been meaning to dig into a little bit more, how the consensus mechanism actually works with Ethereum, because it doesn't seem like it's quite the same as with most chains. Most chains, you have any kind of these issues and you're creating forks, whether people notice or not. Even if it's just one or two miners, you're still forking. You still got another chain going on, but we haven't really heard that with Ethereum. And so, I mean, I've messed around a little bit with Ethereum virtual machines and all that, but I haven't really messed with trying to fork Ethereum or what happens when you do. um and so I'm really, I'm curious about this, and I'm curious about the switch to proof of stake and what all that means for consensus and miners, especially because Ethereum has been kind of the coin of choice for miners, throughout the last year and a half, it seems like, at
And
least.
there's still tons of altcoins on it and they're profitable to mine and, things that are actually based on miners, so it's a good topic. Maybe that's something we just kind of write down, follow up. Maybe we do a
Well, it's
little
like,
research
Yeah,
on, let's talk about EIP and the
and
new F. And
I don't like the switch to proof of stake. I think that the
I don't
mayor and I
either. You
are
know me,
kind
man.
of
I'm always going to be, a
proof of
MacGyver
work.
miner,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think, the mayor and I are kind of agreed on the fact that layer one should stay proof of work and should be a confirmation layer for layer two. And also, for big ticket transactions where you need the added security. But switching it to proof of stake just introduces so many more problems. Security with proof of stake, just it isn't there. You've seen that a lot over the
Speaking of
years.
security, yeah, so that's probably something we need to touch on. This poly, whatever. What is the name of
Oh yeah,
the
Polygon.
chain? It's Polygon and then Polygon. So not to be
Yeah.
confused with Polygon. The
Well, it's
Polygon not to be named Polygon.
it's either Polygon or it's Poly went, but somebody else has it now.
Poly.
That's
Oh, too soon, dude. Too
oh,
soon. If
sorry,
you're
fellas.
affected, yeah, Polygon. There it is.
Send your
Oh
complaints to
boy.
Shitcoin Sherpa on Twitter.
Oh boy. The
it's
mayor's not going to be
actually
happy.
it's actually called Poly Network, and
Poly Network.
it is not Polygon. What it is
network.
they don't even have a token. What they do,
Poly
it's
network. Here's the okay. Here's the poly. Oh, the poor poly network. Oof.
yeah.
Here, let's read the letter out to everybody. Dear hacker, we are the Poly Network team. We want to establish communication with you and urge you return the hacked assets. The amount of money you hacked is the biggest one in DeFi history. Law enforcement in any country will regard this as a major economic crime, and you will be pursued. It is very unwise for you to do any further transactions. The money you stole from tens of thousands of crypto community members, hence the people. You should talk to us and work out a solution. Thank you, Poly Network team.
That
Okay,
I had so many
I'm sure they're
problems
gonna
with their
be
response.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
that was entertaining at least. Again, if you were affected, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but
Yeah.
No, I have compassion for the people who were affected.
We're
Yeah,
not going to
less
get
so
into too
for the
much of the
project
details.
itself.
Yeah, because I don't know much about it. It looks like here's your root cause though. They've been pretty public about what actually happened. It was definitely a targeted attack. Somebody very savvy used these systems that were that talk on these networks to basically harvest some accounts. It sounded like that were sitting on these chains. So that's rough because those were people that expected that money to be secure, right?
Yeah.
That's not like just something sitting on an exchange or something.
Well, didn't my understanding is like most of it was stuff that was on BSC, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they could have attacked stuff that was in,
We'll do a little research on this whole thing too. It
yeah.
just dropped today. I haven't really had too much time to.
I mean, then that's always where I lean on a lot of these things is, keeping your coins on exchange unless you're actively trading them is not the best idea in the world. Um, there's just that's where these problems tend to happen. It's not that your actual wallet on your computer, your hot wallet on your computer, or your ledger or anything else is getting attacked. It's almost always the exchange. So whenever you have these centralized entities holding custody of your crypto, you've got to understand that that's a risk.
Yeah, definitely looks like an actual smart contract was used.
Mm. You hate to see it, don't you?
Yeah, again, we're not going to comment on that. Let's stay out of that until we have some time to read into it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to, make any judgment calls without knowing all the facts, but it's just,
this poly network though, I feel for people, but I don't know much about this. Like, again, without commenting, we're not into DeFi, as much that I can't like hold it in my own wallet. So again, I don't know how that network worked or what the interaction with the smart contracts is, but that would be worth a little bit more research to just kind of understand. And hopefully they're going to use that as a learning example, but that doesn't help that was a lot of money too. I heard tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, I think it was 600 million.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting up to the point where these hacks are going to be in the billions and I mean are going to garner a lot more attention
when you're dealing with a multi-trillion-dollar market cap. Absolutely.
And I mean, if it was the smart contract, I'm not saying one way or the other. This is just my feelings on it. That's where you're really going to need to do your due diligence before you get into something, because if they haven't had a smart contract audit, then they could have a lot of vulnerabilities that just haven't been found yet.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Let's talk about this. Might as well retweet this out. Nifty BC did Waxapalooza. So, Doc, you want
really excited about this event? Yeah.
Here, I'll put this in the chat. Waxapalooza coming up if you want to talk about it, Doc.
Yeah, go ahead. Pull up go to the link if you can.
Yeah.
So Nifty BC, one of our artist friends that we've started dealing with through STAXX. He's created a world in what's the Art Drop? There it is, the Art Drop app. And basically it's a VR world where you can go in, it's fully immersive. If you highlight your cursor over top of, go ahead and go into any one of those rooms right there. Okay, so he's going into the main stage here. You can join as a spectator. You can create an account, log in, and be interactive within the room, chat with people that are in there as well. But basically, it's a way for the wax artists to display their work and network and communicate. But it's also a way for collectors to come in and view other works. And you know, if you move your cursor over top of any of the icons, it'll highlight links
Oh,
for the
cool. Can I
artist,
move around
for
in
the
here?
artist's sale page, and it'll take you directly to their sales.
Hey guys,
There's
Nifty
also an
BC here,
auction room
testing this thing out.
where
I'm
they're
trying
going
to
to be
get the
doing
live stream
live
working okay, so
auctions
bear with me.
for low mint
I'm
rare
gonna be
NFTs. There's also a ship, like a party ship, is another one of the rooms where there's going to be different featured islands around the ship. But yeah, it's just a cool way for both collectors and artists to interact in a metaverse type arena.
Cool. So you can just like, how do you move around in here, or do you just view it from the outside?
So no, you can go in. I haven't played with it enough yet.
I've been meaning to jump in here and actually
Yeah,
mess
it's
around
just
with it.
been,
So.
he's been updating it all week, so I haven't really had a chance to go in and play yet. But I know you use your keyboard to move around, so I'm not sure the buttons yet as far as commands go.
Oh, that's super cool. Now I'll get in here and play around with it so we can check it
Yeah,
out.
maybe we'll bring it up on our Saturday stream after we've played with it a little bit. But definitely, this version here just got updated today, so there's even some more things in here that I haven't seen yet. So
Cool.
yeah,
Definitely
and
check that
you'll
out.
see all your favorite wax artists on there from the Wax Gang, man. There's like, I mean, you see there, you got Boneheads, you got Nifty BC, the Morbs, you got JRG, Miss Teen Crypto, Wampa Stompa, Blockchain Bunts.
We gotta get STAXX in there for sure.
Yeah, there's all kinds of good Dogecoin Kid, Senor Lupe. I mean, yeah, dude, it's a good gang.
Super cool. We didn't mention the Lupe giveaway as well. I was gonna do that live on stream tonight, but I figured I'd go ahead and let it go tonight just to see if there's anyone else that wanted to get in on that. So we're giving away 2 double diamonds collabs with Lupe and the corresponding cartridge, the airdrop that came along with it. So you'll get 2 NFTs from us. So get in that Twitter promo. If you haven't, all you got to do is get in there and put your wax wallet, hit hashtag STAXX, tag some people, and retweet it. So get
Real quick,
in there. What's up, Pat? Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to touch on that Waxapalooza again real quick.
Yeah.
This Saturday, it is a 7-hour event. So there's going to be artists, speakers, and performers during the event. So
Sweet.
yeah, so you'll want to bookmark it and at
That
least
sounds like
check
our
it
kind
out.
of event, man, like a community event, you know?
It's someone from the community, like we always say, real people building real things.
That's what Wax is like, man. Wax has got the community thing going. They got the art
it's so
community,
cool.
like really on. They're picking up on that vibe, you know.
Yep, very cool.
I like it. All right. Anything else on that topic?
No, I think until, like I said, until we play with it a little bit, we'll let it go for now, and then, like I said, we'll familiarize ourselves with it, and then bring the community some more updates on that.
Okay, let's get this wheel spun for the weekly rabbit hole. We're still on the hunt for Philosoph. So if you don't know what rabbit hole is, go check out One Rabbit Hole. And
I know I opened up my packs. I didn't find him.
And I'm still looking too. I have some packs, but we're gonna give one away every week until we find this silly rabbit. If you don't know what we're talking about, go out to their website and look at their beautiful website. Their projects are listed. The conglomerate one was their last drop. All the details of all their blends, and the silver hole pack is what we're giving away now. They're no longer for sale, so you can only get them on the secondary market or trade for them. Philosof is this guy right here, this pretty looking rabbit, and the number one is still in the pool, so it's yet to be drawn on unboxed. And if you find him, you get
a one of one.
Yeah, a one of one. You get 500 wax. It's the number one, I think he said. You get 500 wax from them, so it's still out there.
So I wonder how many the total mint is.
Well, we're gonna look at it.
Yeah, there you go. Very
That's
cool.
the beauty of blockchain, sir. But
very cool collection, though. If you guys haven't checked it out, they're very interactive with their collections. Every piece has a meaning, so check them out if you haven't given it a chance.
This one's locked down. We do not have a G spot on this one, so we're just gonna keep this one attached to the spreadsheet. That's why we're using the forms in our Telegram chat. So again, immediately following this show, we'll get another form in our Telegram for another weekly giveaway. And all you have to do is join our Telegram and sign up the form. Put in your Wax wallet and you'll have a chance to win something. So every week we'll do something like this. But right now we want to keep opening these silver hole packs till we find Philosof.
Right.
So without further ado, let's get somebody another pack. Get a winner chicken dinner. I got the spreadsheet up too. Fraggles rocks.
Nice.
Great wax name, by the way.
That is one of our partners, actually. I'm pretty sure he works on the rabbit hole team. Yeah, that's Thias. Thias Frag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, he's a good guy. He gets to win a pack and open a pack for a change. They probably don't even give him any fun stuff. He works his butt off. He's another great personality, and he's involved in their project as well as ours. He's an administrator and a moderator, and you need to go thank all your administrators and moderators for doing all the thankless work they do in all of these groups.
He's active across quite a few communities too.
We'll get that out to him right away, and super happy that he won. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to everyone. And thank you again very much for participating. Again, we still have this one active giveaway for the 2 Lupe collabs that turned out super awesome. And that kind of Double Dragons theme. The beauty of that is we're never going to run out of content because there's about 185 Nintendo games that I want to still make NFTs out of. So, any other comments, questions about our drawings? Again, this one is still live, so tonight we'll cut it off and then we'll get all the wallets out of there, and maybe we'll put that one in another wheel and either do it Saturday if we do a show, or Tuesday we'll announce that. Go out, check out our partners. As always, go check out our website. Our partners are listed on there, but also all the games that we have reviewed or recommend. We're going to get some updates on this as well with some of our artists that we work with. Working in network. That's what we do, right? We work with people we trust, and we don't work with people we don't, right? So trusted networks of people, that's what we do in this club. And we're getting geared up for Miami in November. But there's also a big NFT convention in New York right around the same time in the early November. So lots of cool stuff going on in gaming and NFTs, not just for art, right? We were talking about that today, and I made a tweet, ranting on Twitter about people not really understanding what this NFT, craze is really all about. We talk about NFTs a lot, but people on the outside still are kind of, like not understanding some of this stuff, right? And, we said it right here, digital assets and blockchain NFTs have changed the landscape for how humans will appreciate and collect forms of art and collectibles in the future, right? And it's true. It's true, but it's not just art, right? It's not just art. It's games. It's really anything now, right? You can make an NFT out of almost anything. The gaming part of it is a logical kind of transition, in my opinion, to what could be like the next major adoption phase in cryptocurrency, because it's a logical fit, because games are already gamified, right? And earning money or earning tokens or earning gear is basically a natural part of them anyway. They have economies built into them, but what is new, right, is throwing the blockchain aspect into it, allowing these games economies to be visible to everybody in the community that has access to that blockchain and participate it, and then the scarcity part of those items, right? So those items are shared, and if they're in a limited amount, they're shared by the entire population of the community or the game, whatever it is you're talking about. As that game grows, as the community grows, those items get more and more scarce, right? And then they start becoming worth more and more money. Okay, so that's the basics of it, right? That's like basically how it works, and that's how these communities are, rewarding early participation. That's how people are doing very well on NFTs and making some money. Um, how people are doing really well in Axie Infinity. That's how people have come to seen their stashes appreciate in games like Lost Relics. These engine titles, not just Ethereum as well. You got a lot of wax games now. I mean,
So as
there's
far as the GTA server built on engine or whatever, are there any NFTs available yet?
okay. So this is new. So let's put this in chat just in case everybody wants to click on it. This is the eGamers article about the first Grand Theft Auto role-playing server with NFT rewards. Now, we know very little about this, again, other than the announcement. I don't think it's like up and running yet, but we'll do some more research. And obviously, I'm gonna be one that's gonna want to play that, depending on how you have to set up the server and connection and all that stuff. But we'll definitely figure that all out. Probably worth a show and or um talk about configuration, maybe an article. It does say though, just kind of the basics of what we talked about, and it doesn't get too specific in this article. So
Yeah.
it's more just kind of a teaser, like, hey, we're building this, here it comes, get ready.
Click that My Metaverse store link.
Yeah, My Metaverse, you can actually go check out too, because they're linked up into a couple of different things. Well, there you go. Coming soon, play now. Here, we'll put this in
Meta
here.
City Minecraft. So they have a Minecraft server as well.
Yep. Free drops, cross game quests. Wow. Creator economy. So this is kind of a whole project that looks like something could be very interesting as well.
Yeah, I've checked them out a little bit, and it looks like, they're basically looking to take this concept of taking existing games and spinning up private servers and layering crypto on it.
So it's not just GTA,
a lot of games.
Yeah, they want to get involved in several games. Interesting.
Very cool.
Again,
yeah,
I'm
there's
all
a lot
for
of
it.
games where that could work in. So
Yep, Uplift, I'm loving. Again, I'll get you guys in there someday.
I'd love to see a Doom overlay.
Because Ooh, yeah. We can do any game, really. Like, the sky's the limit. We keep talking about it. And people are like, well, where's the limit on NFTs? And I'm like, literally, it's in your imagination and execution, because you can almost do anything with the right person that knows how to code smart contracts now. I mean, there's really no limits, right? Like, we were talking about some NFTs are not designed to be sold, right? They're lifetime memberships to things. You would never sell them. There's no reason to sell them, right? You had to earn that. You would never sell it. There is no value beyond your lifetime membership. Now maybe that has some sort of face value to somebody else too, but there's definitely things that I hold that I would never sell. They might not even have a value to somebody else. I don't care, right? I don't know if you guys have some stuff like that. I know Sherpa, we're talking about kind of getting you into some of like the early minting stuff, and we have a lot of work to do with some of our artists too that are just kind of starting to figure out how to mint. Um, and you can do it across multiple blockchains now too, and the process is a little different, but people need to just get over the whole bias thing about like, hey, you're flipping JPEGs, or, hey, I can just right click and save that, blah, blah, blah. Like, this stuff that we're looking at right now, building, economies into already existing games like Grand Theft Auto and Minecraft, like that's like the future of the old stuff, using those operating systems and games. And then the new stuff is like brand new titles like the Lost Relics and Axie Infinities that aren't necessarily finished yet by any means, right? But still very playable, and getting their own heads of steam, have their own great communities rolling. I think there's a waiting, list for a couple of weeks now to get into Lost Relics. So if you're thinking about joining that, you might want to jump in the queue. Uh, again, we were talking about that before the show. When I started playing that, there was like a few of us, and I was streaming it, and I was like talking to myself for 4 hours a night, but I didn't care because I thought it was awesome, right? And we were looking for like, blockchain games at the time, and this is one of my favorites. Obviously, I'm biased, but I've watched this game grow, and will continue to watch it grow. And Cliff Colley is an amazing dude, and a great person, and an awesome developer. And he's basically doing this all by himself, which has just been extraordinary to watch. And using Engine's software development kit, which we're a proponent of, and just doing some amazing things. So hats off to him. Hats off to that project. Hats off to all the projects that we represent, our partners. All the stuff on our website. Go check it out. That's what it's there for, right? That's why we put the videos up. That's why I did the Lost Relics walkthrough. If you guys are jumping in there for the first time, we will definitely be watching my metaverse and this Grand Theft Auto role playing
I'm
server,
anxious to see
because
this develop.
yeah, that's some very interesting news. We got our wheel drawn, so congratulations again to Thias. We took out the Bitcoin charts. We talked about the Waxapalooza. We also talked
Dropped a
about
few claim links in the
yeah.
Twitch stream.
Let
So
me
go grab those, folks.
thanks for sticking with us there too, guys. Like, let me throw see what we got here. We got some hologram promos. Might as well give one of those bad boys away. Remember, these promos you can stack 10 of and get your official hologram. And we took a snapshot of the month, but all the hologram holders will get airdrops from us. We're going to do monthly airdrops. And it's going to be random. It's going to be whatever we decide, the founders and the owners of the tokens. So we'll also do collaborations with other projects, and there'll be drops from other projects because that's what we like to do, kind of share things. I also we're also working with some other projects as well, as like, want to share their stuff, which is super cool. So, and we want to get some more of our own stuff minted. Our next drop is going to be a dust drop, so be looking out for that. We'll get that announced. I'm working on that with Mike and some of his super cool designs. It's going to be like 2 different drops at the same time. We'll name a price on it. It's probably going to be like 1,000 dust or something like that. But you blend those together for another special one. If you're watching and following, again, thanks for following. There is a wax claim link in the chat for a hologram. Appreciate you guys hanging in there with us tonight. And we'll get some more chances for the Lupe Super Double Diamonds NFT. I just love that thing, so I want to make sure we give that out to people if they want it. What else did I get? Ooh, I got some miners for Uplift. So that token's going to be called Upliftium. Don't know if I showed you that or not. Let's see. I'll show you guys that because that's actually pretty cool too. Uplift. So again, if you're still kind of like on the fence, you know, Uplift is on Wax, and they're tied into Wax, and you can see like I'm holding their NFTs, so I'm connected here, and they have their NFTs that are miners as well. So kind of like on our planet, the Yoshi drops is tied in, so they're doing drops with you know, music and entertainment. But if you hold these in your wallet, you get a drip of their Upliftium, it's called. They also have NFTs that you can melt and crystallize at Upliftium, and you'll be able to use that for things in the game. So like building things or awards, or you know, they've talked about other stuff as well, like building portals in the game and stuff. But that's going to be their, you know, their in-game currency called Upliftium.
I like that you got the legendary floppy win.
You know I did, buddy. You know I did. These are really nice too. You know, really high quality, nice looking NFT. Comes with a certificate. So basically says, you know, hey, this mine's Upliftium with a little scanner on it. And a certificate of authenticity. So I've been having a lot of fun just, you know, zoning out and playing some Minecraft. I haven't played in many years, and it's been really nice because that's just a really chilled out, you know, relaxing game, and it's not stressful, and I don't, you know, I'm not white knuckling trying to hang with the teenagers. So that is something I'll play on stream as well, and you can come join us and build and interact, and you know, a lot of fun there as well. So come check it out. If you don't know, our Uplift information is in Telegram, but we'll get an article on that too with the site, you know, and the coordinates and stuff, so you can come check us out. Yeah, man. Thanks for joining, Pat, and appreciate your support. Congratulations, Pat. Actually just got promoted to staff member today. He's going to help us do some moderation as well.
Glad to have you on board.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Sherp. I appreciate you. And he just dropped Doc again, you know, as always. Thank you very much for joining.
Oh, my pleasure.
It is always a pleasure to talk to you, sir. And I know we have a lot going on right now and just a lot of moving parts, but you know, we're gonna stay focused because we know what we got to do, right? And that's keep writing things down and checking them off one at a time and prioritizing things, getting our artists, you know, lined up, and trying to, you know, keep building this thing, right? And most importantly, like you nailed it on the head earlier, is start supporting people that deserve to be supported and stop supporting those that don't. And that doesn't mean you have to change your whole life, but maybe you can just change one small little thing, right? Like a video game you're playing, or a choice you're making, you know, with something that you're consuming or not consuming, right? That's what it's all about. Small choices add up when you know, hundreds of people start doing it, then thousands of people start doing it, then millions of people start doing it. That's how we drive change.
That's
Right?
how crypto has gotten where it is.
That's why crypto is exciting to me. It's a, you know, a little bit rebellious in nature, and that's good, right? People need a little rebellious in their life sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with a little excitement. There's nothing wrong with experimenting and being a scientist and learning, and you know, if
Challenging the status quo.
exactly, man, the status quo sucks. So, you know, let's just go ahead and put that out there too. So we're gonna help foster that next generation of outside the box thinking, and build things, you know, that are real for real people that help things, you know, and help real people. So
Yes.
that's a great way to end the show, I think, Doc.
Absolutely. Great
Any
show tonight.
Yeah, anything else that you guys want to hit us up with, just hit us in the comments. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, you know, Instagram, Note Social. Come hit us up. So don't be scared, don't be shy. That's what this is all about. The more that we get from our community, um, you know, the more content we can produce that's relevant. And again, you know, if there's something you want to see, there's a good chance somebody else wants to see it too. So let us know. And again, wherever you are, I hope you have a great day or a great evening. And thank you for joining us. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for sticking around, guys. Have a great day.
All right, we're gonna kick out some music on the way out here, and we'll see you next time. Take care.